Earlier this summer, I released a video which showed that Altimor and I had discovered a 12 faulty mechanic. Wall jump had turned out to be one of the most hidden faulty mechanics in the game, as it can be compromised by a polling sequence that includes a frame of aerial drift. Altimor and I addressed this on 1.03 by making it so that wall jump succeeds even when a frame of aerial drift occurs. We also made the ADT shield fix protect from article hitboxes, and then we improved shield drop by filling in its range. At the end of the wall jump video, I alluded to the discovery of yet another faulty mechanic. That mechanic will be the focal point of today's video. Believe it or not, the mechanic that Altimor and I realized is faulty is down B. Down B suffers from its own unique range issue, as you can see from the way I've sorted it on this chart. Whereas other mechanics suffer from issues such as microscopic range and corridor range, down B is faulty because of a typo in the game's code. The typo in the code that I'm referring to has been known about for quite some time. In the box manifesto, which was published in 2018, I included a chapter which listed Ice Climber's desyncs. This chapter mentions that there is a neutral B desync at the Y value of -0.55. The neutral B desync that's listed here is unlike the other desyncs in the sense that it technically shouldn't exist. I say this because Ice Climber's desyncs exist wherever there's a cutoff for thresholds on the analog stick. You can make a single Ice Climber dash by pointing at 0.8 on the x-axis, for example, or you can perform a solo tap jump by pointing at 0.6625 on the y-axis. The neutral B desync is unlike these desyncs because -0.55 on the y-axis isn't the cutoff for anything, but rather a glitched coordinate. To show you what I mean by that, let's take a look at the stick map for special attacks when your character is in an airborne state. Special attacks are unique in that there are two different stick maps for them, airborne and grounded. As you can see, the stick map for airborne specials is designed properly in the sense that all of its ranges are filled in. Now let's take a look at the stick map for grounded specials. There's an issue at the very top of the down B range. The Y value of -0.55, which is supposed to correspond with down B, actually doesn't correspond with anything. This is a unique issue that isn't present on any other stick map in the game, and it's all because of a typo in the game's code. The non-existence of -0.55 can lead to fumble down B inputs. When you attempt to shine from weight, for example, you have to make sure to go past this value or else nothing will come out. Other specials such as turnips and counter can fail as well. Although the missing value on this stick map may seem minor, the price for failing these inputs in a real match can be tremendous. Altimor and I have addressed this by filling in the missing value on 1.03. This makes for a total of 13 fixed mechanics. Next, there are several more updates that we've given to 1.03. The first one is a minor update to one of the controller fixes, so I'll go over it first. On the dash out of crouch fix, there's a 3-coordinate bridge which allows you to go from crouch to dash without entering squad RB. Previously, the bridge would only activate for a set number of frames. We've changed this by making it so that the 3 coordinates are permanently added to the range that lets you remain in crouch. This won't have any meaningful effect on gameplay, but it's still a change I figured I'd mention. To recap the controller fixes that are being added to this version, here's a patch history to take a look at. The rest of the changes we've made to 1.03 improve on other areas of the ISO. For starters, we've consolidated 1.03 into a single version as to streamline the experience. We decided to discontinue Legacy Edition because its custom controls were never intended to be used for tournament play. This means that on the second page of the Versus Mode rules menu, the controls rotator is no longer present. We also got rid of the stage select screen rotator as to streamline things further. The next change we've made is a drastic overhaul to the menu portals. We've modernized the menus by making it so that when you press start on the opening screen, you'll find a single menu which consists of 5 portals: Melee, Controls, Options, Debug Mode, and the 1.03 manual. We've even cleaned up the Options portal by making it so there are only 2 choices inside: Rumble and Sound. Finally, the last change we've made is the Debug Mode portal. This is an all-new portal which lets you choose between Master and Develop Mode in style. We use the language portal's assets to create this portal and give it a modernized look. One last thing I should mention is that this version of 1.03 has a watermark on its character select screen as to indicate a beta release. There are some very rare crash sources that we'd appreciate if people could help us find. Once we address them, we'll release a new update without the watermark. The wall jump fix also isn't functional just yet, but it will be when we release the final version. Aside from that, this version of 1.03 is in a near-final state. There are only a few remaining updates that this mod might receive. In the future, I'll release videos that'll go over what the remaining possibilities are. Until then, the version of 1.03 that I've gone over is now available for download through our company website. So have fun with it and make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section.